How are we doing? Ravens fans, Orioles fans, thank you very much. The Raven Sports Podcast for fans like me. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content here. Coming on a little bit later, a little bit into the Orioles game. I was checking that out there. 5-1 right now. Hopefully we get a good result. We haven't had many here at the start, the Orioles with the good result here. So let's go ahead and get squared away this week. See Charles Harris, we are LegalShield.com. Definitely, if you want to start, those of you out there that are running a business right now, it's really rough for you right now. I know a lot of times running a business with everything that's going on. So see Charles Harris, we are LegalShield.com. That is if you need any collections is great for this as well. If you are a parent and you want to do will or something like that, I just had a will done, adoption or anything like that, anything legal that'll save you a lot of money without high cost legal fees, anything smaller you could do. CPA, I use it. So, and it's a great resource for you. And you can, if you are interested in getting that, you can go to Harris Legal Shield website on Facebook, and we can go ahead and get you some information for that. Charles, also to Genesis Notary Services at Facebook.com is the website there. So if you are needing some notary help in the Winchester, VA area, we can definitely get you that as well. RavenResports.company.site is the website. Definitely check that out. Ravens, Orioles, hats, jerseys, anything just in time for the draft that's coming next Thursday. So definitely next Thursday, pre and post, we're going to have draft. We're going to be on at 7:30 before the draft and 7:30 before the draft, and also to after the draft at 11. So, and I'll be on during the draft a little bit. We're driving to the top, going over some things that day with the draft. So definitely check all that out. Okay, so let's talk about the press conference that we had. Let's hear it from the man himself, EDC, Every Dollar Counts, our general manager, Eric DaCosta, about the Ravens and the what's affectionately known as the Liar's Lunch, as it's called. So obviously during a pre-draft press conference, they don't want to tell you everything that they're going to do during the draft. So that's why it's affectionately called the Liar's Lunch for the Ravens. So we're definitely going to check that out. He is talking in this today about the future of our tight end, Mark Andrews. So let's get it from Every Dollar Counts about Mark Andrews and his future with the Ravens.
Eric, we asked John about this at the owners' meetings, but you have made trades before with veteran players during the draft. Do you fully expect, there's been a lot of speculation about Mark Andrews' future in Baltimore. Do you fully expect him to remain with the team? Is he a big part of what you plan on doing this year?
Oh, man. I never know what's going to happen, Jeff. And I would never want to say this or that, but I can tell you this. Mark Andrews is a warrior, and he's played his butt off for us. And his competitiveness, his talent, his attitude, his leadership is so valued here. And he's a great player. And I think we're in the business
non-committal,
keeping as many great players as we can. So there's always a lot of unpredictability with the draft. You just never know.
Eric,
so there it goes with Every Dollar Counts, Eric DaCosta. Non-committal on Mark Andrews. This is I'm kind of making a bigger deal out of it this time because this is the second time with EDC, and he's asked about Mark Andrews, where he's kind of had a chance to say, well, he's part of our future. They did pick up the option, but this is twice now he's kind of being non-committal. So there's a reason for that, right? He's not just doing that just out of no reason, right? He's either trying to set up a trade or set up some interest or build interest or do something, or something's awry here where he's, for some reason, he's non-committal on Andrews. Now I don't know if I think they will keep him if they will, but I think there's got to be more to it because every time he's asked a question about Andrews keeping him, he kind of gives an answer like that. So he could be having a trade in process, having something, but it's something. That's 2 strikes now. He's not that he's doing that for a reason where he's non-committal on Andrews. So interesting to see in that. He did mention a couple years ago, even though this is several years old, that Hollywood Brown, the draft day trade several years ago when they traded Hollywood Brown in Arizona, he said that was done on Monday. So he didn't announce it to Wednesday, trying to be coy because he said gave some answer like well, he didn't want teams to know that he didn't want a wide receiver or whatever. I don't know. But he basically did it on the Monday before. So he held it quiet for a couple of days. I thought that was interesting as well, that Hollywood Brown is now in Arizona. Hollywood Brown, I think, is back in Kansas City this year. So it'll be interesting to see. But I thought that was kind of fascinating that he was traded him the Monday before the draft. EDC said it is worth it to take a kicker is one available. I think personally, I think EDC DaCosta, Eric, GM Derek DaCosta, he was saying that if it was one available, he would take one there. It's worth it to draft one if it's worth it. And I kind of agree. That goes to the philosophy that some teams think that you should never, ever, ever take a kicker under any circumstances. I personally don't have that philosophy with any player. If a player is good enough, you should draft them. So I do believe they're taking a kicker. I think they're kind of like to do with everything, just being coy, kind of soft pedaling, whatever. Because there's possibility they may not get one, and they may have to, face the music with Tucker, the barring that happens. I think they're gonna absolutely look at taking a kicker in the draft. No big surprise there. He said he did not know if he was going to make all 11 picks. He said if he didn't have a crystal ball for sure that if he was going to take all 11 picks, he didn't know if he was. I think it is a very good possibility he can pick all 11. I don't know if he will, but I think he's certainly not above taking all 11 draft picks. All of them won't make it for sure. I mean, you're not going to have 11 rookies on a 53-man roster, but I think for sure, I think there was a possibility of him taking 11 players. Not a lot of drafts here pre-draft. I'm saying here in the draft season, a lot of times, some years there's a lot of trades. There hasn't really been any here so far as trades. And one more thing here before we get to the better or worse segment. Rather than focus on the track on the draft, Ravens re-signed Ronnie Stanley to a 2-year deal that allow him to retire as a Raven. I think that does say about how he felt about the tackles in the draft, or at least where the Ravens were picking. So he didn't want to be forced into moving up. So that tells you it probably could have been an emphasis in the draft if they had signed Ronnie Stanley. They didn't sign Ronnie Stanley. So they felt it was important to go ahead and take a left tackle. Obviously, they're re-signing Ronnie Stanley. It's big. This weekend, when we do the draft, we're not obviously going to be talking about the Ravens with a left tackle in the first round at least, because they went ahead and signed. So there you go. So there's some things about the Ravens pre-draft press conference that I just wanted to go over that a little bit. The what's affectionately called the liar's lunch for fans there. You can see the coyness in these press conferences too. Like we'll get to Mike Elias later, but man, Eric DaCosta, I would say, is more of a straight shooter than Ozzie Newsome was. He'll say something. He'll kind of hint to something where Ozzie would kind of never say anything. Ozzie would never really even drop hints on things or whatever. Mostly what he would say is like the process and all these things. But Eric, you can kind of read the tea leaves at least with some of the things he's saying. So we'll see here. We got a draft next week. Lots of draft coverage with Raven Sports podcast next week with the NFL draft. Okay, so let's go to our larger NFL content here. we're going to go over this today. For better or worse. So let's get Angela and Marcus and Richard and Keisha and all those characters up there. So better or worse, I think like Tyler Perry now has had some lousy stuff like out here lately. Some of these movies have been really missed, but back in the day he had Medea and a lot of good stuff. And my name's Charles, obviously my sister-in-law, one of my cousins, Charles. Every time like she sees me because of Tyler Perry. So what we're doing here is we're looking at the NFL offseason and which teams got better, which teams got worse. Not just teams that, not good and bad, but who improved and who dissents. So in the offseason, who has done more to win, who has done less, who is descending and ascending. So when we're talking about better, like much better, maybe 3 games or so better. Worse, 3 games worse. Some teams are 1 to 3 games, some teams about same. Right? So let's go ahead and check it out here. Who got better in the NFL and who got worse? Now, we still have the draft next week, so that could change this a little bit in certain cases. And I think for the most part, we know, there are teams that have gotten better, that have gotten worse. Who's gotten much better? New England. New England had the most cap space, I think, of any team in the league. They went ahead. I think they've definitely got to upgrade at coach with Mike Vrabel. Drake May, I think, is developing for them. So I don't think they finished last at all. I definitely think they got 3 games better. I think also, too, it helps them. They're probably still behind Buffalo, but I think it's a little bit closer than they were before. So they're definitely there in the much better category. Titans, I think, same. We know that they're going to take Cam Ward in the draft. So I think they're going to be much better at quarterback, at least, as well. Look, you can't be much worse. Really won. You're picking first in the draft. So I think they got up to 6 games as well. Interesting. I don't think the division is that strong. I think they did. I think getting Cam Ward, I think is going to go ahead and help them a lot as well. So I think I put them in a much better category. I do have the Chargers here. Look, I love Jim Harbaugh as a coach. I think he's got an identity. We know what we're getting from the Chargers, but it won. I think the biggest reason why I have them in a much better category is I think when we get to Kansas City, we're going to see them in the worst. The biggest problem I think the Chargers and a lot of that AFC West had is they've been getting beat by the Chefs for so long. So I think the Chefs aren't going to be as good this year, and I think the Chargers are going to be the biggest beneficiary. The second biggest one, I think, is Denver. Denver, I think, finally, look, Bo Nix is developing – bit of a roll of a dice like last year, the year before getting rid of Russell. You had all that dead cap hoping that Bo Nix was going to be good. Bo Nix, I think, is very good. They do need a running back, I think, in the draft. Courtland Sutton had a good year for them last year. I think he's ascending. Their offensive line, I think, is better than what people think. I think it's one of the better lines in the league. Defensively, I think I think there's room for them. I think they're going to be much better. I really like the Rams in the West. Same with the LA Chargers. The Rams, the Niners, I think, are not going to be the same team there. They got Matt Stafford back, which is going to help a lot. They do need some improvement, I think, on the line. I think defensively, I think they're going to get much better this year. They had some no-name guys that lost Aaron Donald. I think defensively, I think they get much better. I think they're probably the best. They could be the best team in the West as well. These better in the faux better category, or I almost say mo better. Another movie, Types Fairly. So the better. So these teams are a little bit better. All right, definitively better, but a little bit better. I don't think they're moving to the point of winning that many more games than they did. Buffalo, I think you could kind of also give the same analysis. I can't wait, Casey. I think Buffalo might be the best team in the AFC if it's not for the Ravens. I think they clipped up some holes in the offseason as well. They extended Josh Allen. They got rid of the receivers. They got a new group. They signed Shakir to an extension. They went and got Jordan Palmer in the offseason. They're still waiting on Keon Coleman. Their offensive line, I think, is going to be improved. Defensively, I think they're solid. I did think they get a little bit better. The Browns, I think, only have to be better. This is kind of the one here that wouldn't be here if I didn't think they were drafting Shador. I think if they draft Shador, I think that makes them 1 or 3 games better. This is the one for sure. If they draft Travis, no. But if they went ahead and they draft Shador, which I think they're going to do, which is the predictive part of when you do this, I think they are going to be several games better. They're not as bad as people think as long as they have a quarterback, which they haven't had. They've had some horrible quarterback play. So just that alone is going to improve them. They did re-sign Myles Garrett in the offseason, so that's good. So I'll put the Browns in the 4 better category here as well. Jags, I think getting Trevor Lawrence makes them several games better. They had a lot of injuries, but I think having Lawrence for a full season healthy that's enough to make them 1 or 2 games better. Division, again, the South, not a real tough division. They should be 1 or 2 games better. Raiders, I almost put them in a much better, but I'm going to leave them here because they do have much better at quarterback and coach. They have Pete Carroll coaching, which is a definite upgrade, and they have Geno Smith at quarterback, which is a definite upgrade. I don't think the reason they're not higher is because I don't think they're as good as just still probably the worst team in the division. They should have maybe 1 or 2 more games, but I don't think they're going to surpass the other teams in this divisions. The Commanders might be the best team, certainly one of the best teams in the NFC. I think Jaden Daniels, is going to be the next big star in the NFL. There's no question about it. Outstanding quarterback as well. Check and see if the food's here. So I thought I was getting time. Jaden Daniels, I was checking on the food there. Jaden Daniels, I think, is going to be the best, one of the best stars in the NFL. The next big star, they did go get Laramie Tunsil in the offseason. I think they are one of the better. Definitely, I think they're in the 4 better category. I think they should win 1 or 2 more games as well. Falcons, almost in the same, but I think they're better. I think that I'm kind of nodding to the upside of Michael Penix here, where you should win games. And I think that division is not very good. I don't think there's another team to take them out. I think they're going to be there with Tampa as well. They only have to get better. I think they do need a strong draft, kind of like these two, like Cleveland. I'm kind of predicting that they're going to be strong in the draft. So I think that's the biggest reason why I have them for better, and the division is not very weak as well. Better. Seahawks, I think defensively, I think they're going to be really, really good. I do like what I'm seeing with them on defense as well. They did also upgrade a quarterback with Sam Darnold over Geno Smith. So that is for better. Put him in that category. Have Sam Darnold there over Geno Smith, so that should win him some games as well. Put him in the better category. Bears are clearly in the for better category as well. They'll win more games. I don't know how far they're going to get because they're in a very, very tough division. I do think Caleb Williams will be better. They have a better coach, Ben Johnson. They're definitely going to have that. This reminds me of last year, similar to when Jim Harbaugh came into Los Angeles. We're going to run the football. We know what they're going to do as well. To win more games. I don't know how much better they do as far as standings as well, but they're better. Definitely. These teams about same, right? For worse or better, I think they're kind of in the same category. Was it there? Sorry about that. Or a problem with the food. Right. So in the same category, Baltimore, I think is same. You could put them in the same a lot of years. They're going to win games. They're going to win a lot of games. They're going to draft well. They lose more free agents than they get. this is the typical Ravens team. Steelers, I think, are in the same. I think it doesn't matter if they get Aaron. They're going to win 9, 10 games, etc. They're going to be in the same category as well. Bengals, I think they are going to be about the same. Playoffs as well. Quarterback is solidified. They're going to score points. They're going to struggle in defense. I think, about same. Maybe a one way or the other as well there, but it's about same. Giants, I think they're still going to be bad. There is a chance that they get Shador in the draft, but they got Russell. I think the coach and quarterback, I think, kind of out the door, not very good as well. About same. Lions, I think, are about same. They're already really good. They've been good. They're hoping to get Aiden Hutchinson back. They didn't win it down the stretch. They lost in the playoffs. They'll be really good again. Same with the Packers. They're kind of similar to the Steelers. I think they're a good, solid playoff team. I don't know if they've done enough to actually go. I don't think they needed to do a lot. Just maybe tighten up a little bit in the playoffs. I think they're about same. Bucks, I think, same. That's good. I mean, I think the Bucks are better than what people think. They have the Bucks are better than what people think. They have Baker Mayfield back. They did sign Mike Evans. They did re-sign Chris Godwin. So I think there was a possibility that they were going to lose them. They were able to keep a lot of their guys. I think their offense is good. I think they have some holes on defense, but I think about same. Carolina, same. I don't think they were any good last year. They might be a little bit better, but I don't have much hope in Carolina being a good team as well. I would say, though, they do have an opportunity to get a little bit better depending on the development of Bryce Young. So it is possible that they could be better. I will kind of lean more to that, but I think they'll be about same. I think they're going to be about 6-10. 6-11, something like that, kind of like what they were then. These teams are worse. Okay, so I don't think they'll be as good as they were last year. Dolphins are in the worst category. Their quarterback, I'm never sure if he's going to stay healthy. I don't know. That's always going to concern me. I think the line is a problem. They're trading away Ramsey, it looks like. There are issues there. I think the division, I think New England got better. I'm not in love with I've never really been in love with this version of the Dolphins in recent years. So I'm not now. The Texans are definitely worse. I think their offensive line can be saved with the draft, which is the only reason why I think they're not much worse. I don't know how bad they're going to be also too with Stroud there. So they're going to have a decent enough quarterback as well. So I think it'll be interesting to see with Stroud there if they're going to be if they're decent enough there as well. Colts, oh God, Chris Ballard. So you go out and you got Anthony Richardson and you replace Joe Flacco with Daniel Jones. I got no faith in you. I got no faith in the Colts. I got no. Daniel Jones will probably have to play at some point this year. I got no faith in you, man. I can't. I don't think they're any good. The Chefs are definitely worse. The Chefs are definitely worse. Kansas City is not. Kelsey, I think, is no longer the same player. Mahomes, I think, still outstanding, but I think like he can't carry the whole thing. I think he's regressed a little bit, at least in stats. I think that is offensive line issues. Defense is still really good, but I think they slip a bit. I think they go 1 or 2 games. I mean, and plus they won a lot of ridiculously close games last year. That was insane. What happened last year? Eagles, I don't take too much about it being 1 or 2 games worse. I think they're going to be in a dogfight with the Commanders all year long. That doesn't mean they're not going to the playoffs. It doesn't mean they're still not really good. But I don't I don't know if their record is going to be quite as good. I'm not sure. Doesn't mean they're bad, but I'm not as good as last year as well. Arizona, I kind of have the same category. The Colts, to quote the movie Life, they just can't get right. They just Murray, we can't figure out if he's any good. He's good at times. They can't really fix the defense. They're in a really tough division. I think the Rams are there. I don't think they're any better. I think they win. I think they win fewer games. Much worse. I'm kind of cheating, put the Niners here because they weren't that good last year. So I don't know if they're 3 wins, but I kind of see them as the whole overview of the franchise with the Niners. The Niners have been good in recent years. Not the case this year. They're going to extend Brock Purdy. They lost a ton of guys on defense. I think their best offensive lineman is not that great outside of Trent Williams, who's now 37. McCaffrey, again, with the injuries. This could be 4 or 5 wins. Niners are not going to win this year unless Brock Purdy is way better than what we think. In the much worse. Jets are much worse. You got no Aaron Rodgers. The biggest quarterback drop-off, I think, in the league with Justin Fields from Aaron Rodgers. You have some players on defense and offense, but you're not going to be able to throw for 3,000 or 2,000. It's not going to work. Cowboys, I think, are getting older. They're kind of getting chipped away little by little. They probably keep Micah Parsons, but Prescott is getting older. They got no running back. They may fix that in the draft. The line has been getting worse and worse. D lines is getting worse and worse. DeMarcus Lawrence is now gone. Not any good. The Vikings, really, really good last year. So that factors in a lot to that. No. Vikings were really, really good last year. So that factors into that as well. Orioles up 9-1 here. That factors in. They should be really good. And Saints are, they're a mess. I think we don't even know. It's a possible injury with the quarterback Carr. That was really put them in the 4 worst category. If it is true, I don't know, even in that division, even if they have Carr, that they're going to do much with that. So, I don't think so. So there you go. Better or worse? Somebody can find a pizza from 7-Eleven in Winchester. Let us know here. Somebody stole the pizza. So let's go ahead and go over this while we're waiting on that. Let's go over the NBA. So we got NBA playoffs here, and last week got playing games going on right now. Orioles are in front. In the late in the game, looks like O'Hearn went yard here in this one. So Orioles are well in front. Well, we're getting a good result here. In this one. Are you going out there? Okay. I'll handle it once I get up. All right. So NBA. So back to the NBA there. So NBA award season is coming up here. So interesting season in the NBA is as far as that. The much maligned NBA, a lot of media criticism of the league so far this year. But so let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on in the National Basketball Association this year as far as awards. So last week we went over who the best teams were. Now we're going to tell you who should win these awards. These are not predictive of what is going to happen, but if I was to go ahead and give out these awards, this is who I would give them to if I had the awards. Number 3, I have Zach Edey of the Grizzlies. This is almost honorary considering the fact that Edey, a lot of people didn't think he could play in the NBA. He actually stayed an extra year at Purdue to do it. But Edey, I think, is a space eater. That's still a place in the league, somebody who's at the rim, guards the rim, double figures in points. And I think it was like 8. I think it was like 8 rebounds a game. So started all year for the Grizzlies as well. I definitely think it's a bright future. Him and Jalen Wells are two really good young players there for the Grizzlies. I have Zach Edey. Sarr, I think it was kind of an incomplete because he didn't play all year long. So it's interesting to see with Sarr because he didn't play all year as well. Interesting to see what's happening there with Sarr. I think going forward, maybe he's the best player. But Stephon Castle, I think, was outstanding in UConn last year and outstanding with the Spurs. I think the more he played, the better he looked. The more he played, the better he looked. Go ahead and call him.
I don't know which one it is.
It's 7-Eleven. Come here.
Where?
We're doing this live. We're getting 7.
Yes, but which one?
On Martinsburg Pike.
Yeah, you have to whichever one.
1511 Martinsburg Pike.
Yeah,
Yes, and 7-Eleven, you on camera right now because you didn't bring my pizza like you were supposed to. So yes, you on camera right now in the middle of my screen. All right, so back to business. Offer the pizza. JB Bickerstaff for the Pistons, former son of the coach of the former Wizards coach Bernie Bickerstaff, coach of the year. I have him at third. I think Ime Udoka is an outstanding coach. Despite all the issues he had with the Celts and Neil Long and whatever else happened there, he can coach. His teams win. I think he's done a fantastic job with the Rockets. And I don't think the Rockets have a lot of great players, but he's actually taken them to one of the best records in the West. Kenny Atkinson is the coach of the year. I think you got to give it to Kenny Atkinson. They're going to be first in the East. I think probably have the home court. They have the home court in the East. I think it's been a really good job for him. This is hard though. I think it's a very good case for all of these coaches. Defensive Player of the Year, Domantas Sabonis of the Kings. I think is that leading the league in defensive rebounding as well. Physical guy, opponent that he is. I think Sabonis, I think, is really good. It's 1 and 2 is very hard. Evan Mobley, I think, is one of the better defensive players in the NBA. Rim protector, great on ball, and I think he's great around the rim. So when you have a guy like 6'10", like him with his size, I think very impressed with Evan Mobley. I think he may actually win the award. I'm giving it to Dyson Daniels. Daniels is incredible to me. I think like 3 steals a game. That's just incredible. Just watching him take. Just every game, taking the ball away 3 times, getting points off of rebounds, getting the ball into the front court, creating offense for himself and his teammate. I think that's the defensive player of the year. That's what making an impact on defense is. I think Daniels has had the biggest impact there. 6th man of the year. This is pretty easy. Nazir Reed, I think, has had a good year off the bench for the T-Wolves. Look, not a lot of points to go around if you're playing on the same team with the Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, as well. DeAndre Hunter has been good as well. The Cavs have a lot of depth. So good showing out here on a team that has a lot of depth. But Peyton Pritchard stole the show with his 3-point shooting for the Celtics. No question about it for me. This was probably the easiest one. I had to put 3. But Peyton Pritchard shooting from the outside all around. Kevin McHale is somewhere smiling, watching Peyton Pritchard light it up from the outside. So shout out to him getting that squared away. Josh Giddey, most improved player. Josh Giddey, especially down the stretch here, I think is been really good. So I had to really look at Josh Giddey, having him at least in the discussion for most improved. Still a young player coming along. Dyson Daniels, we already talked about him, a phenomenal defensive player. I think his offense is growing as well. Cade Cunningham, I'm going to give most improved. I struggle with the fact that his stats, he got better, but he's been good, but the team is better. That's the thing. He's now at the point, now he's the type of player to make his teammates better around him and contribute to winning. So I think that's a factor when you talk about most improved, also to how is the team improved. So that's the thing. Cade Cunningham, again, I got no problem if you want to give it to Dyson Daniels. I think Dyson Daniels may win the award simply because the scoring averages went up so dramatically, defense, etc. But Cade Cunningham, I got no problem with giving it to Cade Cunningham. MVP. Some are going to say Giannis. I'm not going to. The record's not good enough for me, for Giannis, to be MVP of the league. That's not going to work. It's good. He's been great. Certainly in the second half, he's been terrific. But that's not to be MVP of the league. I'm going to say Tatum. I think this has been, maybe you could argue, Tatum's best season. I think this is now him. He is in the front. It was Tatum and Brown. Tatum and Brown is Tatum. Tatum is the guy in Boston. Celtics, he's had to carry the load for them. So I definitely think Tatum. Nikola Jokic, if you want to say he's MVP, I don't have a big problem with that. Kind of like Tatum, he's had to carry more of the load in Boston. So in Denver, rather. Murray not playing as well. Coach got fired, etc. So a lot of it, but Nikola Jokic is still Nikola Jokic. Had a 60-point game this year with a 60-point triple-double. So it's that. But SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has been fantastic. I think he's best chest-to-chest defender I think I've seen in several years. Like his length really gets guys. Really reminds me of the Michael Cooper when I see him on defense. And I think on offense he's just lethal. Excellent fadeaway, excellent mid-range, can get to the basket. And I think he is, and I've got no player, the tiebreaker, the best player on the best team in the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder. There you go. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is the number one player in the league MVP. So there you go. Interesting to see what happens in the playoffs. We're going to be talking about it all through the playoffs. So now that we're actually in the playoffs, we're going to talk about it every week. We're going to talk about the NBA going forward. We're going to have a segment on it talking about interesting to see how my Lakers do. I think they're one of the best 5 teams in the NBA going into the playoffs as well. Nico Harrison had a presser today explaining the trade. Just don't even try it. Just don't even bother, bro. Don't even bother trying to even talk about that as well. So let's go ahead and talk a little baseball. Let's go ahead and switch up here and talk a little Baltimore Orioles. That's the wrong one, but I haven't played that one. So we're going to go ahead and play this one. All right. So we're in 2025. So the way we've looked so far, I kind of thought like maybe we're moving away from prospects down and we're an established team. Nope. We're still talking about prospects. And we're always going to talk about prospects here. But I would say this. A little reason to worry the way we've looked lately. And this minor league system isn't as strong as it once was. But we do want to talk about who's here because we are going to have some of these young players playing on the next level for the Orioles here very soon. So we're definitely going to go over that. Some of the players here. Let's do honorable mention before we get to the top 10. But we're going to do a top 10, 10 best prospects. The guys I think are the 10 best prospects in the Baltimore Orioles system. These guys are not in the top 10, but I do think they are worth mentioning. So guys to keep an eye on. Keelan Marte pitched in the spring breakout. He was the starter. Didn't do so well in the spring breakout. 5'8", throws ridiculously hard. 100 miles an hour. He really did look like Rick Vaughn in that spring breakout. Definitely keep your eye on him. He throws very, very hard. Still very young. Obviously, he needs help with control, but the stuff is just otherworldly. So definitely keep an eye on him. Not coming up anytime soon. I still about 3 years away, still really young, but definitely I I'll put him as a top 40 prospect. So definitely top 30 prospect in the world system. So keep an eye on him. Somebody, I love talking about Creed Williams here because somebody said, why do I like Creed Williams? Like when I was having the conversation on Facebook because they didn't see it. This is Kyle Schwarber vibes right here. When you talk about Creed Williams. So we sometimes, like when we're talking about players, the 5 tools: hit for power, run, throw, catch. He's got one. I think he's going to hit for power. So that's what Schwarber does. I don't know. I absolutely see this guy as a DH first baseman in the MLB and actually able to hit home runs. I do think it's there as well. Shout out to him. He also lost a lot of weight. So I'm still not putting him in the top 10, but I definitely still think it's worth keeping an eye on. And he's really young still. So he still got a way to go. So that always matters. Baron Tavra, still like a ways away. Definitely they spent a lot of money on him, so we're going to continue to watch his development. Judd Fabian and Max Wagner, moving them down a bit. They've kind of struggled at AAA as they went up as well. So they have Fabian, I think, is still fantastic defensively, but we need to see more from him at the highest level at AAA. Max Wagner kind of same. As the levels have went up, he's kind of tailed off. He still has a lot of potential, but I think that's it. I even moved him back as far as when he's going to get here as well. Chance McDermott injured. I'm not as big on him but definitely you look at the pitching, I think he's going to factor in. So all those guys I think are worth mentioning. So let's talk about this. Let's go over the top 10. Number 10, Patrick Riley. Not to be confused with the great Pat Riley, the coach. Patrick Riley. I think this guy is pitching right now in Chesapeake. I'm trying not to say Bowie, right? The Chesapeake Bay Sox. Pitching right now. To me, he's got closer vibes, reliever vibes. They're going to try him as a starter. No one wants to ever do that for whatever reason. Try a guy as a starter, but I think he's definitely got a reliever in him, throws the ball really hard. I think he was actually pretty good in the spring breakout when I saw him. I think he's actually pretty good. His last start was really good. Not a fantastic prospect. I think it's flawed, but I think definitely reason to be hopeful. I have him in the top 10. Brandon Young, I think he's going to be the next call to the Orioles here pretty soon. Some people thought he might get called right away. But I think like the next arm up is going to be Brandon Young to the major league level. It's only a matter of time with their, I think, again, probably best suited as a reliever, but they're going to go ahead and try him as a starter as a rookie. Steven Martinez, I think the sky is very high for him. So I think he very young though. So 2029. Like that's a long time. He's only 17, so he's going to have a chance to develop, to go to the Dominican Republic, get better as a player. He's going to have to go through the minor league level, but I think the bat speed with him is fantastic. So I think that's something that you're going to have to look at with him. The best pitching prospect in the Orioles system is Michael Ferret, so keep an eye on him. I think definitely here's one. There's going to be a lot of teams calling about him. Not quite in the top 100 MLB prospects, but the way he's going, he's certainly on that, knows how to pitch. Not just a flamethrower, even though he has live stuff, a good arm, but he knows how to pitch. So definitely I think he's the number one pitching prospect going forward. Earliest next year, you could see him. It depends on how well he does. Maybe not the start of next year, but some point next year. Griffin Farrell is going to be 6 as well. I keep saying whenever I see him, it's Justin Pedroia drives. He's actually been playing some second base, which is good. Good, solid, gritty middle infielder. He's going to hit for some power. He's going to play solid defense. He's going to dive for. He's going to dive for balls. He's going to do a lot of things here. So I actually do like Griffin Farrell. I have him as number 6 as well. Number 5. I don't think this has changed. I don't think this changed much. I don't think this is going to be a shock to anybody here. Van Honeycutt, I don't know why people are so down on him, the detractors he has. I think his athleticism is fantastic. him, I mean, you'll watch him at North Carolina, and I was like, yes, the only negative is people keep talking about the swing and the miss. I'm thinking this guy's going to be a top 100 MLB prospect here this year. Definitely has a way to go. I mean, he's still in Aberdeen, had a home run the other day in Aberdeen. This guy has fantastic potential as well. Great college player. I love it. I think Honeycutt is fantastic. Dylan Beavers is kind of holding court as a good player. I think he's a big block. Honestly, considering what we've seen, you should consider bringing up a Dylan Beavers as well. I think Beavers, has been really good. Average, not terrific, but I don't worry too much about that. I think he's solid enough. Biggest problem, he's similar to Bradfield. I think Bradfield, the organization holds him in higher regard. Bradfield, I think there are people, what I've seen in him, the reason why they're not gushing over Enrique Bradfield more is that the type of player he is, he's clearly a legs player. I think there are people that nowadays in baseball don't like that. It has to be, I kind of think, I'll answer it. I kind of think in basketball, that NBA scouts always are looking for Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Somebody 6'6", a certain size, whatever. This is the guy, blah, 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 blah. And I think baseball scouts are always looking for Barry Bonds. Like, you're missing out on a guy like Bradfield who can be a leadoff man for 10 years, disruptive on the bases and terrific defensively. So I definitely like Bradfield. Average, maybe we'd like to see it a little bit better, but that's about it. I mean, but definitely, I'll look, this guy can hit 260, 270 for all I care. Like, with all the disruptions he's going to cause. Kobe Mayo, I think, has been on a roll in the minors. Upset that he got sent down. That's okay. I don't care about that. I definitely think, though, the third base thing is over. I haven't seen him at all third. He's playing at first. I think that's the spot. He is not good at third base. I mean, if there is a negative, he'll be fine at first base. So a lot of home runs. There's no question about it. Basayo, number one, the catcher as well, is fighting an injury right now. So that might hinder his growth a little bit. But there's nothing not to like. The sky is going to hit a ton. His bat speed is fantastic. There you go. Top 10 prospects in the Orioles. So, the minor league, you don't have immediate minor league help like you had a few years ago. You used to have a bustling of these minor league prospects that you have. You don't have that anymore. So you do have some guys, I think, obviously, with potential. Mayo's going to be a major league player. Basayo's going to be a major league player. Bradfield's going to be a major league player. Honeycutt for sure is going to be a major league player. I think Dylan Beavers, I think it is. The concern is the pitching. You don't have great pitching in this minor league system right now. You don't have it. And I kind of liken it to the Ravens so many years with receivers. Like, you've been picking that good outfielder. You've been picking in a draft. You're picking the best player. You're doing that. Okay, well, but hey, you're not handling your business with pitching. So you got some guys with potential, but I think you got a bunch of reliever prospects and things like that. So I think the pitching, needs to be watched as far as the minor league prospects. All right. Let's get to the Orioles report after a victory here tonight, 9-1 as well. So got a win for Dee Kramer. He gets his second win. Kramer up and down. Not bad tonight. He's good sometimes. I think that's kind of what he's always been. Holiday, the kid with the granny tonight as well. And hey, Liriano got a hit. Liriano got a hit. Good for him, brother. All right, so let's talk about what's going on. Orioles claim Scott Barrett off waivers from Minnesota, designated Luis Gonzalez from assignment. Scott Barrett also too has been activated, right-handed pitcher. Colin Shelby has been sent to Norfolk, agreed to terms with Chandler Tom on a minor league contract. as well. So definitely needs some help in the bullpen, right? You just got to shake it up a little bit. I mean, definitely even with the injuries and all that, they definitely, Michael Elias definitely has to be scouting the way allowed to get some help in any type of pitching that he's getting. Kyle Gibson is going to get another rehab start. They're aiming for around May 1st to get him back. It can't be fast enough. So go ahead and get Kyle. I mean, we shouldn't be this excited about getting Kyle Gibson back, but good to have him back. They do that. He's going to be a prominent part of the rotation. Certainly the way Charlie Morton has looked. I mean, my goodness. I don't know about that. They said May 1st. Personally, I think it'll be like the middle of May before they're fully ready. I don't think they're certainly not going to rush him at all. According to Jake Rill, these next are Jake Rill here from Twitter. And Kittredge survey is flying along. Live batting practice we get the next rehab a few weeks after West. Could be back at the end of May. So I don't think that either. I think that's the best case scenario. Most likely, I think it's like June, right before the break, where you'll see Kittredge. I think they will do everything they can. I don't think that, again, they're not going to rush anything there as well with Kittredge. All right. Chase McDermott and Trevor Rogers are on similar timetables. We'll face 5 hitters at Sarasota this week. Potential activation before the end of May. I kind of do think these guys will more be sooner rather than later as well. McDermott, because they've been out for a while. They missed a lot of camp. So I think it's more possible that they're there. I don't think they're in the majors. I think they are going to get some starts in Norfolk, get them a chance to get warmed up ready and there as well. All right. Colton Cowser, fractured left thumb, continues to heal. Target for the return is late May, early June. Jake Rill, according to Jake Rill. So broke his hand early June. I think that's about right. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks. It's just a matter of how good a shape he's going to be out of or in, etc. Baseball shape to actually playing games. I think that is something as well. But I think Cowser is going to be in as soon as they can get him, but probably not going to play in May for sure as well. Let's talk about Jorge Mateo and Romero. So I'm going to update this graphic because he did get a hit tonight in the game. So it's not a combined 1 for 25. No, it is 2 for 25. I want to hear a Baltimore Banner put this out. Shout out to the Baltimore Banner giving us an alternative here. We're going to hear it from the man himself, Mike Elias, who is the GM of the Orioles, talking about the lineup as well. So a lot of fans, obviously, and I'm one of them, critical of the lineup that they're putting out as well. So let's go ahead and take a look here. While I'm doing that real quick, All-Star slugger Tyler O'Neill scratched from the game. So this is even why we even had Ramon Leal in the game tonight, because we had Tyler O'Neill scratched before the game. So I saw the original lineup earlier today, and he was in it. So for whatever happened, he got scratched. So let's hear it from our GM. Boy, is he super political to listen to him. My goodness. So let's hear it from Michael Elias.
So, I am not involved with lineups. Our front office produces information that helps Brandon and the advanced team that works with Brandon to choose the lineups on a nightly basis. But our philosophy is that the guys in the clubhouse should be deciding that, and they're the ones that are the closest to the information, that have the feel for the players on a night-to-night basis. They use a lot of statistical information that we provide in making those decisions, but it's not something that we do.
Statistical information.
I'm in total support, and what I've seen from the lineups that we've had makes sense to me. We've got a roster that has a lot of diversity on it, a lot of right-handed players, a lot of left-handed players, a lot of players with some positional flexibility, and we're going to need that, and going to need to keep that warm throughout the season.
All right, so you get it, right? I won't play the whole thing, but yeah, like one more time on the screen, not to make fun of these guys, but you're not. I've been saying it all season. You got to play Heston Kjerstad and Jackson Holliday every day against lefties and righties to see if they can play every day. You're not going to find out, and you're taking them out for guys that aren't hitting. I don't understand that. I think like Brandon Hyde has been getting real cute with the lefties and righties for so long. I think he really believes in that. I think he really believes in the whole lefty-righty thing. And, man, it's not working. You don't have this luxury anymore. You have to. You no pitching, so you need more runs. You know, you can't play a 225 isn't going to get it right now. It's not working at all. Cedric Mullins has been fantastic the first weeks here. So he had a home run in the game yesterday. Brian Baker, I think, has been having his best start ever. He's got an ERA less than 2. I think it's like 105 last I saw it. So it was outstanding. Felix Bautista, it's almost honorary hot considering he's getting his first save. He had his first save in months. Charlie Morton has been horrible. That's not going to work. He's had an ERA of 8. I don't think he hasn't been good in any of the starts. The last start, he was better, but I think that was his best start. I'd like to see it. I don't think you go along too much longer at his age. He's 0-4, ERA of 8. He's 40 years old. I'm going to say it one more time. He was bad at the end of last year. He wasn't that good. He wasn't that good in spring at all, and he's been horrible here at the start. And I don't know how much longer you go, even though you didn't pay him. So he could go to the crowd of King Kimber here as well. So I'd like to see we'll see. Chance McDermott's coming off IR pretty soon. And Chance McDermott's coming off IR pretty soon. And this week, Cincinnati Reds, if Alec De La Cruz, I think, is going to be one of the most exciting, fun to watch players I think we've ever seen. And if you want to see the team, the Nats, one of the better teams in Major League Baseball, the Nats. Did they get our pizza, Melissa? And y'all is on camera because y'all didn't deliver the pizza. Y'all is on camera. See my daughter right here. She's crawling out there. Y'all on camera right now. All right. And Cedric Mullins, I think, is the player of the week. Said he's been fantastic, professional. You know, they have not even talked about an extension with him. I don't get it. Yeah. Orioles with some issues. So next week, heavy with the draft coverage. We're going to be happily talking about that. We're all going to even talk baseball, stick with the baseball as well as the final mock draft next week. Thank you for calling us, for watching us here with the Ravery Sports Podcast. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy all the games.